Timeline is an important digital humanities tool that helps to visualize relationalities between stories, events, and involving actors. Our use of TimelineJS in presenting Evelyn, Amony, and Grace Acan stories aim to trace the milestones of advocacy by Evelyn and Grace, survivors, as well as affected communities of conjugal slavery in conflict. With TimelineJS as a means of presentation, we entrench Evelyn and Grace's stories into the global community and judiciary efforts towards addressing the needs of conjugal slavery survivors. So where do we start? Do a quick Google search of TimelineJS and it will take you to this page of the Night Labs platform. On the page, you will see a few tips and tricks that's already provided by the platform. It includes in keeping the content short with not more than 20 slides, to include and position the stories in chronological order, and finally to position major events within your timeline. Our workshop seeks to add on to these tips and guidelines already provided to suit the needs and usage of our project working with conflict survivors. First, we practice sensitivity surrounding the use of pictures to not include photographs depicting violent or gruesome images of conflict, images including minors or children, as well as other conflict survivors and perpetrators. We work closely with Grace and Evelyn where they will look through the pictures that will be included in the timeline, as well as all other areas of the Scalar platform. Secondly, because our Scalar platform serves to document communities and international efforts supporting survivors, we keep in mind the need to be as detailed as possible without misrepresenting their stories or the events told. Therefore, our content take into account that the timeline sheet does not have to follow the limits of 20 slides. Importantly, we establish a non-linear visualization of advocacy work, despite the linear presentation of the TimelineJS application. While events presented in the timeline are chronological, we center community-led advocacy milestones within the global judiciary and community engagements, so as to deliver the work of Evelyn and Grace's role and contributions to the broader international support for survivors of conjugal slavery. The next step is to set up your Excel sheet. Before you start to add in your content, you have to go back to the Night Labs or TimelineJS platform for an Excel sheet template that is provided by the application. This Excel sheet is useful for users without any coding or programming knowledge. Once you're on the main page of the TimelineJS page, scroll down and you'll be able to find the Google spreadsheet on the platform. Click on the tab, Get the Spreadsheet Template. You will need a Google email account to gain access to the formatted Excel sheet. Alternatively, you can create a new Google email account just for your project. This will be helpful for organization and for any privacy concerns surrounding linking your Google account with the TimelineJS Excel spreadsheet. After signing in, you will have access to the timeline template. Make sure to favorite the document so that it will not be lost within your Google Drive. As mentioned, you are able to use the Night Labs platform without having a Google account. It can, however, be difficult for folks with no programming knowledge to use the platform. So it can come in handy to use the Excel sheet provided by TimelineJS. However, considering the privacy issues that may arise from attaching your Google account to TimelineJS, it is recommended that you open a new Google account for your timeline project. To avoid copyright infringements on the use of images, our project uses common licensing websites like Wikimedia Commons and Unsplash to search for pictures. Images on this site hold a Creative Commons license, which allow you to use their images on your project. However, images surrounding Creative Commons licensing will be more complicated for commercial projects as compared to non-commercial projects. After deciding on the suitable images, return to the Excel sheet and place the link of the media you want in the media section of the Excel sheet. Remember to place your media credit on the next section. Citing your media source is important to credit the creator of the image used. TimelineJS also allows you to custom your color scheme. In order to do so, you will need to know the exact color palette code for the preferred colors you want for your slides. Here, we use the Canva color palette generator to locate our color codes. Our main color team follows the conjugal slavery war partnership color scheme because we are not in touch with the original designer of the banner. We get our color scheme from uploading this picture into the Canva color palette generator. After you upload your image, you should be able to see the color palette codes on the generator page. Place the codes into the background section of the Excel sheet. With your Excel sheet filled, you are ready to publish and share your work. First, go to the File tab on the top left-hand corner of your Google Excel sheet. Scroll through the drop-down list and you will find the tab Publish to Web. You have to click this tab in order for Timeline to read what you have added into your Excel sheet. After you publish, head back to the TimelineJS page. Click on Make a Timeline as shown in this slide. It will then bring you to this third section of the page. Copy your Excel sheet URL and insert into the box. You will be able to preview and copy the link for embedding the timeline into your project or websites. After you click Preview, you should be able to see your work come up on another window or tab. Here are some snapshots of our timeline. From here, I will pass on to Sarah, where she will talk more about the Story Maps application on Night Labs.